Everybody, today we're going to be talking about Plato's conception of the self, and we're going to be looking at Phaedo and Phaedrus in order to understand that understanding. So in Phaedo, Plato talks about sort of a dualistic reality, and by dualistic I mean there are two separate parts of it, right? In his conception of this dualistic reality, there is a mortal, eternal, unchanging level of reality, and then there is a mortal, changing, turbulent level to reality as well. Dualistic reality applies to us as well, to ourselves. Plato imagines in Phaedo that there is an immortal, essential, eternal self, and then there is a mortal, changing, inevitably dying self. These two are linked. And he actually explains the relationship between these two in the Phaedrus. It gets deeper into exactly how this immortal, eternal, unchanging self and this changing mortal self relate to one another. How this essential soul, really we could call it, if you come from an Abrahamic background, this might be how you're inclined to think about it, right? Which makes sense because Plato influenced a lot of the theologians in the Abrahamic religions. So we're not going to get into that here, but for Plato, the immortal soul and the immortal soul and the mortal body relate to one another the way a charioteer relates to two horses. And he makes this analogy in Phaedrus that the self is a charioteer with two winged horses. The charioteer is the immortal, unchanging, essential self, and it is essentially, Plato calls it reason. And it's using reason to guide the two winged horses. And one winged horse is appetite, and the other winged horse is spirit or passion. And these are the physical parts of the self. This physical aspect is split into two sort of distinct things as well. And it's up to the charioteer to kind of try to control these two winged horses. And why would the charioteer be controlling these winged horses? What destination does the charioteer have? For Plato, he says that it is Elysium, the heavens. If the charioteer can pilot his horses well enough, he'll eventually reach the level of the gods, which is truth. He'll be able to see the truth of everything. Plato, the goal of the self is to get to Elysium, to get to this heavenly state, to get to this level of truth where you can really understand the actual reality, understand its actual dualistic nature of reality. Because if you can't control the horses, if your divine, essential, reasonable self can't control these physical appetites or these passions, these spirits, then the horses can damage themselves, lose their wings, lose the ability to reach this heavenly realm. Heavenly realm is more of like an analogy for like enlightenment. Your thoughts? Check out the discussion on the next page. What do you guys think? Are you essentially two things? Are you an immortal soul and a natural but also dying body? Is that how you understand yourself? Do you have two things, spirit and appetite, that guide your body that need to be, kind of reined in by the reason of your immortal soul? Or do you have a different opinion about what your self actually is? Thoughts, guys?